All right, so I made my way down the 2x10 catwalk here, the things I do for these videos. But before we talk about the detail I came here to talk about, I just want to talk a little bit about this detail. So you can see we have the excavation hole there, and the footing is actually up there. So we actually had to pour an extension to the footing to get it down so that it gets down on to a undisturbed soil, basically the same ground that the house is sitting on. So, and we do have all these lateral ties, and we're going to talk about that detail right here as I swing back over, but just wanted to show you how that wall ties in down at the bottom of the wall. But over here at the top of the wall, you can see the ICF wall, and remember, it's 2 3/4, 2 3/4, and a 6 1/4 inch core that is all concrete. You can see we have the anchor bolts there. But as that comes and ties into the garage, remember we had a bunch of rebar that went back into the wall and made an L into the concrete core. And you can see the legs of that rebar here sticking into the foundation wall. And then also notice here, you can see that we've basically plowed out the ICF, the EPS of the ICF, the expanded polystyrene, which is the rigid foam of the insulated concrete block. And we've basically exposed the concrete core. So if I drop down in here, you'll see that's the whole concrete core all the way down to the footing. And then we have these pieces of rebar that now tie the house foundation wall to the garage foundation wall. And that's an 8-inch width, so it's fully plowed out to the full 8 inches. And we get a nice concrete on concrete. Now, it's a cold joint, but hence that's the reason for the rebar in there. All right, so just did a quick return to the job site here. And you can see here, you can see how that foam stops, but we basically have concrete against concrete at the end of the wall. That connection piece, obviously we had to stop at the same height as the ICF wall, but you can see that concrete goes right in past the foam there. So garage foundation is completed. You can see as we spin around, looking good. Certainly got some backfilling to do here, and some compacting. But there you have it. Garage connection to the ICF wall. Hey everybody. So hopefully you enjoyed those couple videos out at the site. Got to go back and give you the before and after concrete shots there. But look at here. We got Big Red. We got a detail we're going to talk about. And so let's not waste any of your time, my time. Let's have at it and start putting down some red ink. All right, everybody. So there's the detail. This is a plan detail. You can see here, this is that corner of the ICF wall here. See the ICF, and how it turns the corner there. And you can see here, that's the EPS foam there. EPS foam is on the outside here. Along here. And then this is the core. But you can see, we have the rebar here, the one piece coming here and comes around the corner. And then we have a long length here that runs down the wall. And then we had the pieces there that you saw before we put the foundation in. These are the ones that were sticking out of the wall from this point out to here. Those were sticking out of the wall, and then inside the wall, these were cast inside. And we had a lap there. I think we called for about 18 inches here, just basically to bind it together. The hook is pretty much where a lot of that strength or that resistance comes from. Lapping it here was kind of secondary to that bend. But anyways, sticking that out into the wall. But notice here, this is where we plowed out that section of EPS foam here. So this is the section that we took out, and that, this foundation wall here, that's an 8-inch concrete wall. That's our foundation wall to the garage. So we took that out because we really wanted to have this wall pour up against the edge of the core of that ICF there. So we get, basically, it is a cold joint, but we get concrete on concrete there, and the pre-installed rebar that was hanging out there is what is tying this wall to the inside core there. And I won't say making it a monolithic, because it is, like I said, a cold joint there. But our structural engineer, instead of just leaving the EPS, because we had that discussion, he said his preference would be to plow that out. And the reason you plow that out is if you left that, you'd have this one section here of, I don't know, it's about 2 3/4 of an inch, where that rebar, it could get funky and want to bend and do stuff there. But by bringing that concrete all the way in, it doesn't put it in double shear, which means it's stiff against the concrete core there and stiff there. So instead of being in double shear, we put it in single shear by getting rid of that outside face, bringing it in, and only having that one cold joint intersection there. So anyways, ICF foundation wall on the house, everything went great. Blue Green Building Concepts did a hell of a job. They were the ICF contractor. Howell Custom Build, they're exceptional in everything they do. As an architect, they're a dream builder to work with. And our garage foundation's in, so stay tuned. We got a bunch of great drawings coming out of this, or great videos coming out of here. We got some cool framing, all kinds of cool stuff. From here on out, almost every aspect of this build has got something worthy of talking. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that. All right. We put down red ink, and we talked about how we tied in that garage foundation, and we got many, many years of successful foundation out at our Riverside project. Anyways, if you're looking for more, check out the Build Show Network. Literally thousands of videos there. You can go check them out. All my good friends, too many to list. We're adding contributors all the time. Hard to keep up, but go check it out. We're putting down some really good stuff, and it's all free to you. So go check them out. Watch them 7 times too, but make sure you see all of mine 7 times before you move on to those guys. They're good stuff. But anyways, if you're looking for more than that, Instagram, go check it out. Steve Basic Architect, putting up stuff all the time, having a little fun here and there, and also putting up some good knowledge. So go check it out, Steve Basic Architect. And lastly, Unbuild It podcast. Go check that out. It's my good friends Jake Bruton and Peter Yost, and I dive in and have a lot of fun. And we shoot our podcast and we put it up. You can watch it on YouTube. You get to watch all the antics behind it. So anyways, go check it out, Unbuild It podcast. Until next time, Steve Basic from the Build Show.